Hello, hello. Um, Welcome. Remember, take your meds and drink some water. Right? I got my coffee here. Alrighty. So I wanted to talk about Healing with the Fairies by Doreen Virtue. I finished it. I finished it a while ago, but I had my yard sale this last weekend, so I was really busy with that. Last week I was, putting all my energy into getting stuff together and putting it in boxes and bags and all that stuff. So I'm back. My sale's done. I can put energy into this now. Um, so I'm talking about Healing with the Fairies. Healing with the Fairies was a delightful read. Next up, I'm going to be reading Healing with the Angels, which is the book that Doreen wrote before this one. So let's just dive in. I'm just going to go kind of like chapter to chapter, kind of, sort of, and, give my thoughts, reviews, whatever, just talk about it. Um, so in the beginning, she talks about how, you know, she's feeling kind of stuck in life. Stuck, she's got a career and all that stuff, but, just mentally she's feeling a little stuck. So she's urged to go outside. In the beginning of the book, she's running on a treadmill, and she has the thought, why aren't I doing this outside? Like, I can just go run outside. So she takes a walk, and she meets the nature fairies, for flowers, trees, all that stuff. um, Now, as I'm explaining this, please don't get hung up on terminology. Um, Fairies is what she uses. I use the word energy. When I go outside and sit with my tree, I'm sitting with the tree's energy. But she uses terms like fairies, angels, leprechauns, mythical things. And who are we to judge, right? Because that puts one heck of a fun spin on it, let me tell you. But yeah, so that's the beginning of the book. Just her meeting these things by going outside, and not having headphones in. Paying attention. Go out, walk outside, sit outside. Don't have your headphones in. Just ingest the energy and the ambiance around you, because they're there. I mean, the energy's there. Let's see, the heart chakra. Let's see. Yeah, she talks a little bit about, like, conversing with yourself, which is a thing that we all need to do. Telling yourself no. Um, we have food at home, like when you want to get fast food or something. Connecting with the fairies. She connects with the fairies. She, her journey to know the fairies is kind of a long one. And it's through the lens of she's contemplating divorcing her husband, because it's just not a fulfilling relationship and stuff, which, is a kind of a heavy thing to process. Someone who's, you've been married to for years, and now it's run its course and it's time to move on. That's a hard thing to come to terms with. And if someone comes to terms with it by going out in nature and convening with fairies, more power to you. So, it's the takeaway I really got from this book is, if I'm lost, go outside and sit in nature, because the answer might come to you. When we silence ourselves and just let the energy frequencies of nature, convene with us, the answers will be there. you know Talks about signs. Fairies and, spirit, they don't work in words, so to speak. And if they do, not everyone can hear it like talking, like a fairy's talking to you. I can really feel the energy, and, I consider myself a big time empath. So it's more like, how can I describe it? Like, a lens just came over me or something. You know, if I'm really upset and I go sit outside, like, it's almost like someone just put a bubble on my head, you know, and now I am seeing the world through this lens, and I am, you know, just that energy is around me now. It's, you know, it's really hard to put into terms, not just repeating the word energy. Like, it's really hard. Maybe that's, next time I'm outside, I'll have to sit with that feeling and narrow it down and get a better descriptor. Yeah, Green Witch. That's me too. Green Witch and a Kitchen Witch, definitely. Um, so, visions and dreams, that's another thing. Fairies, spirit, pay attention to your dreams. That's what she's saying. Because they can talk through that. The spirit talks more through symbols and feelings than actual words. So if something random sticks out at you, it's probably not random. And, you know, write it down, make a note of it, and come back to it later, because it might be something important. It's outside, it's sunny. Little sunflower, because you feel so much better when you're outside and it's sunny. Yeah. Yeah, huge recipes. I don't do huge recipes either, Kelsey. For me, it's my thing is soups. You know, when I need to do a spell or something, I make a soup. That's what I do. No recipe. I just throw stuff in there and listen to my heart. Let's see, visions and dreams. Yep. Yeah, and then she talks about incarnated elementals. So basically, how she spins it is every human has, you know, we all have souls. Every living creature has a soul. And humans, the soul can be an incarnated elemental or an angel or a fairy in and of itself. Like, each soul is a different thing, you know. Um, let's see. And this is where she mentions seeing, you know, a person whose soul is leprechauns. Um, and I totally agree with this, because you know, it explains why we're all so vastly different, and why, you know, our natures can kind of be classified as certain things. You know, I'm not talking about stereotypes. I'm talking about, like, we think about elementals, like the elements, earthly, air, you know. Sometimes you look at somebody and you just think, oh my god, she's a fairy. Like, that's just it. You know, I don't know if you've ever had experiences like that, or if you've looked at someone and I've just thought, wow, that's your earth energy, you know, or someone's so flighty, they've got to be airy, you know, stuff like that. My uncle and I had a conversation about angels, like guardian angels, and he said, like, my guardian angel was talking to their guardian angel, you know, and that's kind of the guardian angel, you know, that's what she's talking about in these. Our soul is, you know, incarnated as these mystical beings. That's what she's talking about. You know, whether you want to call them guardian angels, spirits, what have you, it's the same thing, you know. Let's see, the new age of peace. Yeah. The message for light workers. This, you know, the fairies, she puts out a lot of messages from the fairies into this book. And they're just telling us that we are needed, you know, for nature and for them to exist. They enjoy us tending to them. You know, something that I carried away from this is whenever I go mow the lawn now, I put out kind of like a mental blast warning. Like, hey, I'm going to mow the lawn, you know, move out of the way until I'm done. You know, it's something silly, you know, but I like it. It puts a you know, a magic spin on something as mundane as mowing the lawn, you know. So even if, you don't fully believe it. It makes it fun, right? Um, but yeah, of course, she talks about pollution and global warming and how, the fairies are urging us to take better care. And the people that believe this are the light workers, are we really need to put out this message that we need to preserve the earth and make everything better, take better care of everything. That's our job here. Um, and that really resonated with me big time. If you consider yourself a healer, um, start doing stuff for the environment, even if it's something as simple as growing your own tomato plants. Start small, but we need to start somewhere. She also talks about like being a vegetarian and stuff. Now, it makes sense, being a vegetarian makes sense, especially how crappy animals are treated in these plants. In the animal factories. What are they called? I don't even know. Farms. Use the term really loosely because it's not any farm I want to go to. Um, so that's one step. After I read the beginning of this book, that's one thing that I decided to do. I'm making my way to be a vegetarian. Right now, I've cut out mammals, because I saw a video of Fairlife Farms and how they treat their baby cows and their grown cows. But it broke my heart, so I'm trying so hard to not do cows. Like, that's if things were on a smaller scale and we could fully respect the respect the animals and make sure that every worker is handling the animals with care and respect, and if we didn't waste, then it would be another story. Kelsey, I sobbed too, man. It was pescatarian. That's what I'm getting to, actually, because she points out in here something, or the fairies pointed out to her that fish, something about them being in water and their water nature, makes it so they don't feel pain quite as deeply as other animals. Which I guess could kind of make sense in a way, So that's what the fairies first urged her to just become a pescatarian, actually, and that's my next step. I'm a sucker for processed chicken. Got a bag of popcorn chicken in my freezer right now. Oh, I'm gonna have to give them up. Baby steps, though. Let's see. Dragonflies and dolphins. Ooh, dolphins. I want to swim with dolphins, and this book made me want to swim with dolphins because she puts the experience as such a loving one. She said the dolphins talked to her, and they said while being captive isn't ideal, that they understand the joy that they are bringing to humans, and that it's okay. You know, um, I don't know. I don't know how accurate that can be. I gotta see for myself. I gotta go converse with the dolphins myself. I told Jacob that for our honeymoon, if if it's the only thing that happens, let's just go swim with dolphins and then go home, because I'm really into it now, like super into it. Um, in this, everything that is happening to her has happened because she's put trust into the divine, into spirit. She just kind of goes with the flow after a minute, after, um, fighting her desires, her wants, her needs, all that stuff. Once she kind of learns to just let it go, all of these things start coming together. Like the dolphin thing was I forget exactly but it was kind of like a happenstance where she just mentioned it, and then a dude was like, "Hey, you really want to do this? All right, give me your number. I'm going to give you a call tomorrow." And then next thing you know, she's going off to swim with dolphins. So let's see. Um, she talks about tree people, which I am a fan of. If you need to heal, go sit under a tree. I swear. The first time when I read this chapter, I went out and I sat in a tree, and it pulled in a memory from my mind that I had not thought of in years. Um, and the only way I can describe it is it kind of like me and the tree together kind of massaged it out like a knot, in a muscle. Um, then yesterday, the day before, Monday, Jacob and I were sitting out under the same tree, and we had such a healing talk. Like, I'm not going to go in details because it's kind of private, but such a good talk. We cried. It was about us. Our relationship's fine. It was just about the past trauma, stuff like that. Um, but we had such a good. It was just refreshing. We cried but didn't get lost in the crying. We felt it and let it go, and just it was nice. Great talk. Like, go sit out in a tree. If you have a loved one that you've been meaning to like heal with or talk to about something deep, go under a tree. Seriously, it's gonna help. Let's see. They talk about manifestations, like your needs and your wants, um, which basically the secret is ask for help. Um, Ask the universe, what hurt could it do, and if the spirit, well, if you're ready for it, spirit will give it to you. There's a point in the book where Doreen is asking for her spiritual husband. Like, she wants to meet that man of her dreams that's spiritual, and they're gonna go. She can take him, when she does her talks and this and that and the other thing. In the fairies, it basically asked, "Are you ready for it?" And she goes, "I think so." And the fairies are like, "No, you need to know so. If you don't know you're ready for it, then it's not gonna come." All right, Kelsey, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate the feedback so much. The last couple weeks, I'm not gonna lie, I was in kind of a funk and was second guessing myself with all of this. So that feedback seriously means the world. And yeah, if you ever want to talk, about the journey that you're on, please, my inbox is always open to you. That goes to anyone. If you're on this journey with me, and there's strength in numbers, and there are people that believe this and that think like this, so don't lose hope, and I hope you have a good day, Kelsey. Let's see. She talks about Archangel Michael a lot. That's another thing I noticed. And that's one thing that I really enjoy about her too, because I grew up a Catholic. Grew up a Catholic. I was baptized Catholic and went to church for, maybe the first 8 years of my life. And she uses some of the terminologies that I learned. Ooh, excuse me. So that was kind of comforting in a way. And it just reinforces my belief that it's all the same. It's all the same in just different terminology, for real. 100%. And that's one thing I will preach until I'm blue in the face, that we all have the same faith and we just call it different things. She starts yoga. That's one thing that she does. That's actually how she meets her new husband, is through yoga. And it actually, it's kind of like one of those things that's too good to be true, but I want to believe that this happened the way it did. So she met this man in yoga, and it turns out the man is not ready for the relationship. I think like his brother died, and then somebody else died, and just going through it. Fast forward like a year or so later, the guy's ready, and they rekindle, and it turns out that they grew up in the same area, and it turns out that Doreen's first crush, like as a kid, was this dude. Crazier things have happened, you know. So, like that's that those full circle things are signs that we are doing something right, you know. I look at my own relationship and with Jacob, I we had crossed paths before as kids, well, younger kids. We were both in band in the same general area, so that means we went to the same competitions. You know, there's certain things that we were in the same place at the same time and just didn't realize it. And now fast forward now, he's the love of my life, you know. So, and even when we first actually met, we didn't actually start talking until about a year afterwards. So, you know, those kinds of things really do happen. And when you stop trying to force those things, they happen easier. Um, and you know, if you just follow the flow of the universe, it comes together eventually. Uh, yep, she saw a leprechaun in Sedona, or really a dude with the soul of a leprechaun. That's what I remember from that chapter. Um, believe in us. This is the fairies need us to believe in them. Um, and whether you want to call it fairies or science or whatever, because I was talking with Jake about this. Jacob is a skeptic, like pretty big skeptic. I was talking about the healing properties of trees, and he started to go on about, yeah, there is something, it's the smell of the trees that relaxes us and this, that, and the other thing. And sure, call it that. But to someone who does not know all of the science, I'm gonna call it fairies and energy and stuff, and there's nothing wrong with that. For science is a very, if you have that scientific knowledge, that's kind of a privilege. Not everyone learns all of that stuff growing up. You know, not everyone even has that kind of brain to think about that stuff. So, if believing in fairies and stuff is how you get your appreciation of nature and respect of nature, more power to you. You know, a romantic reunion. This is where she talks about the dude's name is Steven. Her and Steven get together. They go to Hawaii and do the dolphin thing. Yep, declarations of love. That's where she wraps up. Basically, her and Steven ride off into the sunset together. Really cool, really great book. Easy breezy read. It was just simple to read. I'm working on building my reading muscle back up because I didn't stop reading there for quite a few years. So, I gotta start small, start somewhere. But that, is a delightful read. And she has Healing with the Angels as well, that I'm gonna read next. So, yeah. That being said, I think I'm gonna sign off. I got a reading coming up kind of soon. Oh, hi, Mache. Is that how you say your name? Hi, Mache. I hope you're doing well. You want a reading? I'll pull a card for you right now. I can definitely do that for you. Totally. Can totally do that. Okay. Okay. Mache, I'm so sorry to hear that you're not doing that well. I just picked a card for you, and I got Adorn the Temple. Adorn the Temple is a call for self-care. Big time self-care. Uh, your body and your life is your temple, so don't be afraid to adorn it how you see fit. Um, you know, there are there's power in wearing the things that make us feel powerful, So, oh no, my earring fell out. So I don't really know what's going on, if you're not, how you're not doing too well. But adorning our temple the way we see fit and, just to really express ourselves can give us that power to tackle the things that we need to tackle. I'm sorry, my earring just fell out and I don't want my ear to close. I wonder where that went. Jeez. Sorry about that interruption. Yeah. So adorning the temple, that's what it's all about, that inner power. Doing everything in our power to celebrate that inner power. So, if you look at the card, she's feeling herself, right? She's really feeling herself. She's got the bowl down here. It's all about celebration of self. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to read from the book for it. It's card number 27. Adorn the Temple. Your body is a living, breathing temple. Today, acknowledge and celebrate the divine presence that dwells within you by engaging in the sacred art of adornment. Beauty is both an aspect of and a pathway to the divine. This card encourages you to call forth and magnify this divine beauty through the subtle arrangement of texture, color, form, shape, and sparkle in relation to your dress, decoration, and self-care. Just as a temple is regularly enhanced with flowers, candles, incense, and other such high vibratory expressions, treat your body as a sacred place too. Adorn it with the same degree of loving attention through intentional ornamentation. A temple is a physical anchor and container of the living presence of the infinite Holy Spirit, and this is a clear and accurate definition of your physical body. Pay worshipful tribute to the glorious temple of your body through careful and loving adornment. Another thing it says is, caring about our appearance can be seen as superficial. I only see it as superficial if it's kind of careless, if, kind of like how hoarders, how they just grab everything, Same thing for what you choose to wear and how you choose to decorate your body. I know some people who just put on willy-nilly, whatever jewelry they have, whatever, they don't, take the time. And this, adorning the temple, it's not simply just putting on what makes you feel beautiful, but it's doing so with intention, So if you need healing intention, putting on that necklace as a protection for you, or, as you're putting on your underwear, even like matching underwear with intent to make yourself feel more whole or something like that, Yeah, it says here, it basically reminds us that doing so, adorning our bodies with intent, is a wisdom, and you can also take this this idea to the mind, adorning your mind with what's going to serve you. And what I mean by that is straying away from your ego and fear. A lot of times, if you're feeling fear about your situation, make sure that's not your ego talking, right? Excuse me. Make sure the thoughts you're thinking are also picked with intention. And make sure you're adorning your mind carefully with your thoughts. Make sure, just make sure your thoughts are your own, and make sure they're not being influenced by the outside around you. You are the one adorning your temple and adorning your mind, not the outside, right? Um, so Mache, I really hope some of this resonated with you. Um, I'll show you the card one more time. Adorn the Temple. Don't be afraid to indulge a little bit today for yourself, okay? Okay. And Mache, if you want a full reading done, please don't hesitate to reach out. Send me a message. We can definitely schedule something, okay? I'm gonna skedaddle. I have a reading coming up a little later, so I gotta go grab some lunch and stuff. But I hope you guys all have a blessed day. Enjoy your day. Go out and convene with those fairies, huh? All right. Peace to all of you. Bye.